I've been wanting to try, well, I've been wanting to try one of these for ages, but I've never really tried Beyoncé perfumes before, and I thought, okay, well, now is the time to give it a go because I saw Beyoncé Heat for I think £7 for this bottle because it's got a knackered box. It obviously had already been opened. I got this from Direct Cosmetics, and then I thought, well, if I'm trying that one, I saw this for a good price as well, Beyoncé Pulse, and that's the one that had been on my wish list for a while. And then I thought this one was really cheap. This was less than a fiver, I think, for Beyoncé Heat, this little mini one for the original. So I thought I'm just going to try them and see how I get on. Now I'm going to push these out the way. I do love the box for Beyoncé Pulse. I think that's well cool. But I love anything that's got any kind of iridescence or shiny stuff. But let's start with Beyoncé Heat. So this is just a little 15ml of the Eau de Parfum. Now, I looked at the notes for this and I thought to myself, I think that sounds fine for me. I don't think there's anything, even though I'm very fussy. Very cute little bottle. Really tiny, it's very dwarfed, with a lovely red base. So I didn't think there would be anything in this that was particularly bothersome to me. And I'll read you the notes. So, peach, orchid, magnolia, neroli. Middle notes are almond and macaroons, musk and honeysuckle. Base notes amber, tonka bean, sequoia, as in sequoia wood. Oof. Now, this smells to me like there's patchouli in it. There's nothing listed, but it is compared. Oof. On first spray, it reminds me of Lalique Soleil. And that is a perfume that I could not stand. What it made me think of, that one, was like whiskey. There was something in it that smelled like a kind of sharp, alcoholic, brown liquor kind of smell. With like loads of kind of peachy smell in it as well. Yeah, same with this one. I just, ugh. And almost like Archer's, if you know the peach liqueur, but then with sugary notes, wood, and it definitely to me smells like there's patchouli in it. It's compared to Killer Queen by Katy Perry, and I was thinking, oh, maybe it's like a non-patchouli version of that, but it's not. This just really, I swear there's patchouli in this. Yeah. I find it sickly. I think it smells boozy. That it's not creamy. It's more kind of powdery, a bit woody, sickly fruits, and then very sweet powdery notes, almost like Jill Sanders' Sun kind of vibe as well. Like, no. I absolutely hated it on first spray. So that one was a very unsuccessful experiment. But you know, it was also really cheap, and I just kind of wanted to know what the original Heat smelled like. But the one that I was more interested in from the Heat line was always this one, which is Heat Rush. And weirdly I thought I was getting a tester of this, so I wasn't expecting it to have a lid, but actually it's a full 100ml. This is an eau de toilette, unlike this one. This is a full bottle with the lid. So not my favourite bottles, I have to say, but also not the worst bottles I've ever seen, for sure. I love the colour of this one. Can't really smell it on here anymore. This one is so confusing to me. I'll explain why. I don't dislike it, but it smells so much like something else that I am very confused because the notes don't match at all. There we go. So, Heat Rush. The notes here are top notes of passion fruit, blood orange and cherry. Middle notes of mango blossom, orchid and hibiscus. Base notes amber, musk and teakwood. This smells like a proper Escadery kind of shampoo-y, fruity, tropical perfume, you know? Like their summer limited edition ones. I get a bit of cherry, I get passion fruit, I get blood orange, and that mango blossom kind of does make it slightly mango-y. But the thing that freaks me out about this, well, it doesn't freak me out, I just get confused. I tried it on my skin. It smells so much like Sarah Jessica Parker's SJP NYC. Now that's a wild strawberry perfume. So it must be something about the combination of the fruits here, the cherry, so the kind of berry smell with the more citrusy things, that just really, it smells so much like it. Now I've decluttered a bottle of that because it's too shampooey for me to want to wear it very often, so I've just kept my rollerball. So I don't really, I mean, I don't want this perfume. This is just a just as big but even more difficult to store bottle of that same smell. You know what I mean? Like, it smells so much like it. It's so weird. And I went to check because I was like, that's really weird. And I'm not the only person who thinks that. So I guess there is something going on that makes them both smell like lovely, bright, youthful, fruity shampoo. But yeah, I was not expecting this to smell just like SJP. So yeah, not so much. I do think it's pretty, but it's not one I need. So I will definitely be passing that one on because it's just not for me. So then, Beyoncé Pulse. I love this box. I think it's so cool. I might just get these out of the way over there. Get this tiny baby over here. So this is the one that I've been most interested in. This has been on my list for ages. I've never been able to smell it anywhere. Now, I actually think that this is a really cool bottle. I do feel very sad, if I'm honest, about the terribly bad, if you can see, really horrible font. It's not a good font. If this had been less kind of twirly, the font, and had been a little bit more, maybe if it had just been stamped on here or something, or just like, so, yeah, just something less twirly, it would have been so much cooler. But so it sits upside down, if you can see. Looks like you can still have it like this as well. I wanted this because it has a blue curacao note in it, and it's supposed to be sweet and creamy. There it is, and it is, and I think this one is really pretty. So I think I would say it could become very sickly, but I think it's also, it depends on what you like, right? But I think this is something I would only want to wear in the evening. I think you can actually put it around. Let me just try. Yeah, I'm going to put it like that for now, just so you can actually see what it says. So it's unusual because of that blue curacao, but it's really cool as well. So the notes here are top notes of blue curacao, bergamot and pear blossom, middle notes of orchid, jasmine and peony, base notes vanilla, musk and woodsy notes. So I used to have, I still have it, it's in my bunch of declutters, but I had Guess by Marciano. Now that's another one where, actually, weirdly, it's another one where I really quite like the bottle, but the font and what's on the glass is really tacky. But that also has a note of blue curacao. It's also got a lot of vanilla in it. So let me just have a comparison here. It's got honeysuckle, jasmine, grapefruit, starfruit, peony, vanilla, musk and woody notes. So it's got a lot of very similar things in there. It's got honeysuckle instead of pear blossom. It's got exactly the same base notes. Yeah, and so it's got bergamot instead of starfruit and grapefruit. But this one doesn't have cardamom. So the thing with Guess by Marciano is the sharp notes in it never stopped being nose tingly sharp to me, while the vanilla in it got very creamy and sweet. And I found they clashed a little bit, and then because of the cardamom making it smell a bit plasticky, the overall scent of that perfume reminded me too much of Britney Spears' Fantasy, and I just couldn't really get into it. There was something I loved about it, but I just couldn't quite get into it. So because this one's been compared to it and it shares that same blue curacao note, it's been in my list for a while, and I thought, right, I'm just going to try it. I think this is really pretty. It doesn't have that same plasticky vibe. It doesn't really smell like fantasy, but it has the elements that I liked from Guess by Marciano. So it has the kind of blue curacao. It has a slight zesty citrusiness. It has the same creamy vanilla musky base, but without all those kind of additional too sharp things and too sweet things. So I think this is really pretty. I also think that I can't wear this during the day. I think for me this is kind of a warm summer evening perfume, because I think if I wore this for more than a few hours I'd find it quite sickly. But trying it on my skin, it doesn't really last for too long. There is a freshness to this that's almost kind of laundry like. I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain. But I like this one. I'm keeping this one, and I'm really looking forward to testing it out. I think that this smells nice on my skin. I do think it's really pretty, but again, I have a rollerball of SJP, NYC. I don't need a whole bottle of that particular scent profile because I have other kind of fruity shampoo perfumes I'd reach for first, i.e. The Key by Justin Bieber, because that perfume's amazing. This one I straight up don't like, and I swear that there's patchouli in this. This does not smell. It doesn't really smell like the notes, apart from the fact that you definitely get a bit of wood. It's really peachy, but I think the almond and the macaroon gets kind of lost in what's going on here, so I don't like that one. But this one I like and I'm keeping. Let me know if you guys have these and what you think of them, and I hope this was helpful to anyone who's thinking of buying them.